Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got some news about some cyber attacks, and we're going to give away a Silver Eagle from the community post that was posted this morning.
No, it was posted a day or two ago, and I gave you till today at 2 p.m., and I promised you after 2 p.m. we would go live and pick a... Sorry, he probably doesn't even know. He's been on the tractor.
So, how do you want to start?
First off, I'd like to read a scripture.
Okay, perfect.
Let's start live and gather some thoughts about the cyber attacks. First off, you guys, Proverbs. You know I love Proverbs. And so does Mr. Eddie, who's actually, thank you, Mr. Eddie. He's the one that's given away this Silver Eagle. We appreciate it. Proverbs 3, it says, "Do not let kindness and truth leave you." And I hope my mic is doing well. And it says, "Bind them around your neck, write them on a tablet of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man." And you guys, there's not enough to be said in the world we live in for kindness and truth. And we've talked about this often.
And you can be kind when you're delivering truth.
Yep.
You know, that's a... And there's such thing as black truths, you know, that nobody really wants to... And you can harp on those as well, but try to deliver rebuke with kindness, even if it's the truth. Does that make sense?
So, based on the community post that you guys did, which I think we have about 220 comments, we're going to draw. We're going to go up and down in just a minute. I'm going to show you live. We're going to pick one. Before we do that, though, I was telling you, these cyber attacks are getting really... I mean, they're cyber attacks, and we've talked about this. Everything from financial to the electrical grid, but the hospitals are really getting hard this year.
Yeah, the hospitals, it's a bunch of them, too. It's not... This is... I think it's relatively a new thing, but it's really taken off.
Well, just over Thanksgiving, it was like, hang on, I'll give you the stats. Just over Thanksgiving, it was 30 hospitals and 200 healthcare sites in 6 states. They literally had to tell people to go to other hospitals, and they had to postpone surgeries. You guys, that's a health crisis. And they're saying it's because other foreign countries are saying that, oh, hospitals will pay because you're dealing with life and death.
Yeah, they're... when you're messing with hospitals, who knows? You could be going in for a knee surgery and wind up with a shoulder surgery. I don't know what all they can hide.
Speaking of which, when you had your hernia surgery, tell what happened. That doctor
came in. The knee doctor came around. He's looking at my knee. I was like, "What are you looking at?" So, "Which one am I working on?" I said, "I'm in the wrong place."
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, according to...
That actually happened to a friend of mine. He was, they were about to start cutting on him, Charlie. He was at the VA, and they were marking up the wrong knee with the marker.
That's scary.
Nutty.
That's
anyway.
Scary. While I read some stats, if you want to check into some comments,
yep.
We are
go ahead.
All right.
Asking questions you guys want
yes,
to ask.
Please do ask questions. Also, we have a really interesting video, you guys, coming up later this evening. Oh, ho, ho, you better stay attuned.
The UAE dumped the U.S. dollar this week, guys. Pretty big news. How did they do that? That's interesting. I'm going to check that out.
So you guys stay tuned for a new video that's coming out this evening. There is an organization that the government has created that I don't think hardly anybody has heard about, called Council for Inclusive Capitalism, that Chris and I just did a video on that. But before we get into that, while Chris catches up on the comments real quick, you guys, according to the Institute for Security and Technology, about 300 hospitals have been suffered ransomware attacks this year. That's not including the healthcare sites like the Quick Cares and all that. It was just 200 over Thanksgiving that those sites that have gotten hacked. They're saying that hospitals are likely to pay ransom to keep the critical health services up and running. He says that foreign governments are mainly behind these attacks. Last month, cyber experts from around the world gathered to confront this. This is becoming a really big issue in our healthcare system. So it's just something I wanted to bring up, mention, and talking about being, well, where things come issues. We were even talking about how credit cards are an issue. I mean, just everything. We can go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, sure. But staying on the hospitals, Charlie Reagan, CEO of the cybersecurity company, Nerds on Site, said a foreign government is most likely behind many of the attacks. That's for sure.
Yep.
For sure. Just like the foreign governments are behind the illegals coming over from Russia and China across the border right here in Texas. our neighbors, right there. These governments are doing their thing, and it looks like hospitals is really getting hammered.
Well, Nigeria used to be really big on doing foreign.
The scary part of these cyber attacks is they're paying. When did we pay ransoms? That's like incentivizing the wrong thing. You know, it puts me in mind of that was their last option. They had to. So is this going to get better? Probably not. It's probably going to get a lot worse. So be watching. Watch for any cyber attacks. Hospitals, the one we're going to talk about today. We can talk about credit cards if you want to.
Well, I tell you what, we can. So what I was also there's another cyber attack that's happening.
It's not a very popular subject.
It's not cyber attack. But if you get a text that says, "Hey, we have not been able to deliver your package because we don't have adequate information," that is a scam. Do not click on that link, because what they want you to do is provide a credit card so that you can pay money to get that.
My credit card got hacked this morning. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
5:45 a.m. Somebody bought something off Amazon with my credit card. Credit card company let me know immediately. And
You didn't tell me this.
it happens all the time. That's why I use credit cards. Credit cards have their place. Debit cards are the worst means of transaction on the planet. If that would have been our debit card,
It would, yeah.
it would have probably been a big hassle. But instead, they catch it, they do all that, and nothing happens. I'll have a card in 3 or 4 days. This happens all the time.
We do.
You know, everything I buy is on a credit card, but we pay it off at the end of every month, just like it's a bill. So we get all the rewards, and that's it. They actually tried to kick me off the credit card system one time.
They did, because we were getting paid back
Yeah, we were getting cash
points.
back.
Yeah.
you
And they
know,
didn't like
every
it.
2 or 3 months, and they were like, "Hey, we're losing money."
Yeah. I didn't know you got hacked this morning.
Sure did.
Shoot, I guess I got to take care of that. Well, I
No, I've
find
already
out
done.
on,
It's done.
I find out on live stream his credit card's been hacked. Do you see any interesting comments? And I want to talk just a little bit
Love
about.
your hat.
I like my hats. It's wintertime again.
That's from Jewel.
I get to wear my hats.
I'm just picking them. You want to go ahead and give the silver away?
We can. And then I've just on the end of it, I'd like to talk
Love
a little
y'all.
bit
I'm
about.
stoked. What are you excited about? Amanda's secret garden? We've got a garden too. I'm working on the food for us, guys. It's going to be really cool. While I had the bulldozer, I restructured it, let's just say. And it's going to be really, really neat. I've already got asparagus growing, plum trees. I'm investing in the food 401k, food forest, whatever, orchard. It's somewhere you can put your time and energy that will produce food for you. And it does take a little money, but really not. Once you get it going, it should be good to go for a long time.
Yeah, I think I'm going to plant some tomatoes out there, maybe some cucumbers come spring next year. But you guys, yes, I want to give away some silver giveaway. And then I guys, just at the end of the video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about credit card debt. I know we harp on this. You guys just stay tuned, though, because we actually had someone call in, and he gave me permission to talk about it. And he said, I thought I was one of those people that was like, I don't have any credit card debt, and still until he started digging into some of his family. We say this all the time. It's not comfortable, but you need to talk to your family. You need to figure out what's going on. Without it, you're not going to know how to address certain things. But
for real,
it's true.
And I'm guilty of it too. I'm good. I've got a grip on things, so best we can. We do our best.
We do our best, yeah.
There's people living to paycheck, and I don't look down on them at all. But a lot of times people make, I know several people, like most of the people that I know, they spend on stupid things. They trade their car in every 3 months. Just because it's about the same note. It's like $50 more. That to me is not. That's not the way I roll. I would never spend 10%, 40%, 50% of my salary or net worth on a vehicle. That it doesn't make sense to me. But some people are really trying to keep up with the Joneses, and in my opinion, the people that are in trouble with these credit cards probably need to learn their lesson. There's somebody that reached out to us and said they were just like
Well, I want to address
us,
that
and
question.
Okay.
I want to. You want to give the silver giveaway first or
Yeah, sure.
afterwards? And then let's address that question. So you guys, someone called in, and they're actually going to reach out, I think, to Dana allegedly, and to maybe a couple other people, and they're going to say, and I'm going to give you the scenario. I'd like your thoughts. This is what Chris and I kind of told him, and he said I was welcome to share his information. But you guys, all right. So there you go.
See that
Now,
good?
I'm going
It's
to.
an eagle, guys.
Thanks, Mr. Eddie.
Mr. Eddie gave
All right,
the
you guys.
best. He gave the best silver. I think that's really cool. It's really cool to give your best. And we really appreciate it. It's really cool to give back to the community. And thank you, Mr. Eddie, for doing that. So I just want to make sure you get plenty of credit.
Yes, so here you guys go. As you guys know, we did the free silver giveaway. This is the community post. It was 221 comments, so I'm going to scroll down. Because I try to be fair on this, so people
I do.
don't
I'm
think
fair.
that
I don't pick and choose.
pick randomly.
I hate that. I hate differing scales. So does God.
So I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna scroll back up. All right, we're all the way to the bottom.
Appreciate you guys hitting the like button too. It's really cool.
Okay, got one. It's Corey. How do you say that?
Corey Pipinger.
Pipinger 5568.
Corey Pipinger 5568. Is he in here? Corey.
I'm replying right now to your community post. So I need you to text me 318-564-5823. Give me your information, and I will mail this to you. Let's see, today's Friday, so
Silver
probably.
Eagle gone. No strings attached. I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, but hey, I don't do that.
Hey,
to order it, to get this silver, you got to do a Twitter and do it.
No.
No strings attached. Straight to your door. We'll pay the shipping.
Yep, we pay the shipping. All right, Corey, congratulations. So excited for you. Let's get into
Hey,
this.
he's here. Corey Pipinger's here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So text that number if you can see it.
Yep.
I'm going to build a bigger sign.
564-5823. And
And for those of you that don't know, that's here. Stacy's a broker for Miles Franklin, and she sells precious metals. That's the number. That's her cell phone, and that's what she does. She's really good at it.
well, we do our best to get you the best price. We try not to have scams. I try to be very upfront.
Try nothing.
Exactly.
We don't have
No, we don't have scams. We have no scams. I will tell you upfront exactly what you're going to get. Right now, matter of fact, this silver has gone through the roof, and so has gold. Silver spot right now is $25.64.
Whoa.
Gold is $2,075.80. You guys, it has been on a run this last week.
That's far through the roof. That's far from through the roof, though. One day, it just can't.
It's through the roof lately, in my
Well-
opinion. That's taken a run in a week. It was 1918, 1920, 1930.
What do you guys think? Just wait until we get through funding these wars and rumors of wars, bailing out everybody, paying for all the Medicaid, Medicare, and everything else, as we're broke.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do? They're going to print some more money. They're going to tax the people through inflation that nobody gets to vote on. It's happened through history over and over and over. Nothing's different other than this is the world reserve currency, and people are struggling with recency bias and manipulation from the few that want you to eat bugs, own nothing, and be happy.
Yep.
So,
All right. Somebody
Cool,
just
I'm glad
said
you're here, man.
save your mason jar for what? I don't know.
Oh,
We
I
do.
love-
We save
hey,
all of our mason jars.
this mason jar was given to me. It's the only one I got like it from Toby. When somebody gives you something in a mason jar that they made,
That
it
means
was
something.
actually some wine he made from
Grapes. That he
possum
grew.
grapes and some muscadines, I think. And it was really good. And just remember that. If somebody gives you something in a mason jar that they made, a labor of love type deal,
Yeah.
that person likes you. And then he let me keep the cup. I tried to get back to him. He let me keep it. So now I drink water out of it.
I want to talk about, so before we end this video and we go on to the next whatever, I want to talk the question that this guy asked. So he called in. He gave me the permission to talk to you guys and tell you what you guys think. Here's the scenario. Are you guys ready? So I want you guys to get in the comments and you tell him what you would do. He's a gentleman. He's retired. He and his family. And they live in a separate state from their son. And they found out their son and their daughter-in-law have credit card debt. And he was not expecting that. And they are struggling to pay it. They're only paying the minimum right now. The gentleman that's retired who called me has a small fund set aside, and he said, should I take that fund and help my son pay off this credit card debt? Or what should I do? So I'm curious, you guys. This is what I told him, and Chris and I talked about, and he asked for your advice. So we're going to ask you guys, the community, what would you tell him to do? I told him, nope, I probably wouldn't take your funds and pay off your son's credit card debt.
I'm seeing some heck no's from Bam and Jay.
I said maybe
Nope.
sit down with
My
them,
answer is no.
create a budget, and figure out where they're spending their money. And
No. Russell says no.
Yeah.
Heck no. Carlos. Sir, caller Carlos.
I said sit down with them and figure out where they're
No.
spending their money.
T.
Until you know where you spend your money, and I harp on this all the time,
Send
but
them
unless
Dave
you
Ramsey's
do,
book. That's good.
yeah, but unless you do a spreadsheet and you know where exactly every penny is going, you're
No.
not going to know.
Hey now. Tell the son to get a second job. See, that's.
You get on your soapbox. There you go.
Let me
baby.
get on this for a second,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
I go
Okay?
for it. We've been talking about this.
So I had to learn my lesson. Have you guys had to learn your lesson? They're hard to learn when somebody bails you out. And I can't imagine, when you give somebody everything, and I'm not talking about this man's son, or I'm just saying through
Generally
history,
speaking.
like take the Indians. The government, after they stole everything they had, they're going to give them everything now. The Indian, they're having a lot of trouble. I mean, if you give somebody everything, they will be sorry and worthless. They won't learn their lesson. They won't have that drive. They won't, they got to experience that free market capitalism. You're only worth what the value you bring, period. That's how it works. So bailing somebody out, it's easy to get on there and say, no, I don't know their situation. Everybody's situation's different.
It is.
I don't know
It is.
if they had medical bills, maybe they got in a bind over, I do know that people did something before credit cards. There's other ways. You can't make 20% on your money anywhere that I know of, guaranteed. If somebody said, hey, would you give me $10,000 and I'll take 30 years to pay it off and I'll pay the minimum at 20% interest, I'd be all over it. That'd be a deal. So I forget how long it was, 34 years to pay off a $20,000 credit card debt if you paid the minimum.
Yes, it was.
And it was double plus.
And that's if you put nothing else on it.
I know this is not a very popular topic. I wouldn't be surprised if people start falling off the live stream right now. But if you're doing that and you're struggling with that, because it's a battle. It's a battle in people's minds. They feel like they don't have anything when they pay off credit cards because they've got this little nest egg over here. Some people buy in precious metals when they have credit card debt. And then you pay it off. It's a psychological thing that you're going to have to come to terms with. And just know, once you get that off your back, you will no longer be a slave. You are a slave. You're going to have to pay your master once a month. In my opinion, it's predatory lending. It is being pushed from the few. Have you noticed the massive amounts of credit card applications in the mail? Mm-hmm. We're having trouble getting people to go to work and keep a job. That's the biggest problem in manufacturing right now, is getting people to show up and stay put and do a good job. Are those people racking up credit card debt willy-nilly and getting applications in the mail every day? Absolutely.
Well, we just got a thing from our lender saying, please refer us and we'll give you $500. I mean, they're looking for it. They want you to get in debt. And we talk about this, and you're right, it is boring, and people probably do get tired of hearing this. But our goal is to bring value.
It is to bring value, but you got to take action. You can
do.
hear all this stuff, and I'm guilty of it. You can read 100 books a year and not act on anything, and nothing happens. Go to Google credit card calculator and put it all in, and then come to terms with what the outcome is. Make a plan, put a percentage away that you're willing to put at it, and stick to it. Percentages is the easiest way. Wealthy people think in percentages. And it's the easiest way to streamline things. How much precious metals do I need? How much cash do I need on hand?
Yep.
All the way down to how much time do I need to spend on a certain project? And that's really hard for me. I'm not saying I nail this every day, okay? I'm not saying I'm doing all this and you're not. That is not it. I'm saying it's the easier way to address just about any situation. But yeah,
There
it's
went
just a
that pen.
$100 Apple pen.
Hey, you guys, I see there's like 160 something on here. You guys hit that like button, and you guys check out the video.
Is it broke? Does it work? Hit it, see if it's broke.
And you guys check out the video Chris is going to be posting later today about this really interesting organization that no one's talking about that the government has implemented. So.
Oh, Sage is here. LSIM Outcast. Elzim. Elizim.
I have done that before.
There's a liquidity crisis. Yes, there is. We're seeing banks. I've got some $684 billion in unrealized losses in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. That is, guys, these banks going to bail up is not, I'm starting to get numb to it. It's just a number I read and then it's like, it's kind of, oh yeah, it happens. No, we're going to look back on this time in history and we're going to be like, hey, you remember when those banks started failing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was, and nothing really happened. It was like it happened and then nothing happened.
I think they make us become numb to it though. Just like certain things that happen that talk about in the media. I think it's deliberate. That's my opinion. And
absolutely.
So we just become numb to it. Oh, one more thing. Oh, but nothing, like you said, nothing ever happens. Oh, there's a shortage in something. Oh, but nothing really happens. Till you become numb to it. You really don't pay attention to it, and when you really should be. Go ahead.
So that's really all I have on the banks is watch them. It's just a number, 684 billion. But what's important is, as these banks go under, as they deploy all of their things for the central planning, we just did a video on what was it?
It's CIC.
CIC, something that was slipped in.
Right here.
And I'm not going to go over it because I want you guys to watch the video and I want you to look this stuff up. But I'll post the video this evening. But it is Council for Inclusive Capitalism. It is AI, government, big banks, big
corporations,
big college, the best colleges, she said. Yep. It's a central, tops-down approach. Big Brother. Yep. AI, run by and regulated by the government and big tech for our safety.
And
how that works.
And this got created during the woohoo bat flu when everybody was not paying attention in 2022. And guess who's one of the leading founders? Is one of the Rothschild. So you guys pay attention to that video. It's going to come out this evening. But yeah, when I stumbled across it, I was like, what in the heck?
Yep.
But that's pretty much all I got. You guys, congratulations to the winner. We will be doing more of these thanks to Mr. Eddie and Mr. Eric. And do you have any more
People
comments?
will walk away from their debt. This is from Silver Maggie. They'll walk away from that just like in the housing crash. Then they will walk away from their house too. The housing industry is really, real estate is really different this time. It's so strange how the supply and demand and people holding on, not selling, people need to move, they're still bringing good prices. When does it come down? It's really different this time. But I do think you're right. As far as debt goes, I know some people in the chat said, I know how to take care of credit card problems. Just quit paying. Mm-hmm. That's going to mess your credit up. And,
I know people have filed bankruptcy too.
We know people that are probably headed to bankruptcy, personally. I mean, I know these people. My aunt called me the other day and said there was 20 cars repoed in one day. Mm-hmm. It's starting to show up. So brace for impact, guys. We're getting close. It's exciting, but it's scary. It's all of the above. But I still don't have a spirit of fear. I just bought a forklift I'm restoring on the welding channel. That'll be in the description as well if you like that. If you know somebody that's getting into welding or wants to be able to actually produce something with their hands and walk away and look back and say, I built that. You know, I did that. Now there's gas flowing through it. And they'll pay you well for it. Anything else? If you're up to your eyeballs and already gone to pot, do the Manario plan.
Somebody said your welding channel is great. You guys check out his welding channel. It's Chris Taylor Welding. He has some phenomenal tips that he has learned through the years of different things. No one's taught him. It's just little tips and tricks. And you guys,
that's really, guys, that's really I would say I'm a slow learner. But it's because I try every different way you can think of to do this one process, whatever it is. And I come up with ways that are out of the box and that people have never seen. And it's really helped me through life, but it was kind of slow at first. Does that make sense? It's kind of slow when you try all the wrong ways first.
No, I'm going to beg to differ with you. You're not a slow learner. You think outside the box and you try, whenever you see something, you always try to make it better and find a better way to do it. So I disagree on that completely.
I got a CWI in here. Go beat me up over there, PM Stacker. Taylor Welding, be in the description. There's some things that I do that are probably not by the book, but I never had any trouble with a welding inspector. I never had any, other than the normal stuff. Things happen. They can't tell what it is, so you got to fix it or whatever. But anyway, I'm digressing. All right, guys, thank you for being here. Have an awesome day. Keep on stacking, keep on prepping. Just keep on keeping on. We're going to keep it real. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell. We'll keep giving away silver as well. Later.